So dear friends, while I was taking an induction class for the students who have taken admission in one of our new batches, I was trying to make them understand that how you have to analyze the syllabus of UPSC. One of the biggest challenges that the newcomers face when they start preparing for such a prestigious, such a highly competitive exam, the first hurdle that they face is to understand that how to cover the syllabus. The second thing that they find troublesome is that how to understand that what is to be prepared when. Should we start preparing from pre-perspective or should we start first with the main syllabus? And many a times when the student come and they ask me a very simple, very sweet question, sir, how to prepare for pre and how to prepare for mains, how to make separate notes. After listening to all these questions, I developed a planning, I developed a strategy which I used to share only with students who take admission in my coaching. But then I realized there is such a huge family on YouTube, more than 3,25,000 students who have shown some kind of trust, some kind of faith with Raj IAS. Why should they not be given this secret? That how you should approach the syllabus, how you should try to understand the intricacies of the syllabus, how you should understand that where it has to be integrated and how it has to be integrated and why it should be integrated. Unless you understand all these things, it always remains little difficult, little challenging for us to prepare for this exam in one such foolproof manner that success happens naturally. So today I am going to share that with you, and I will appreciate if you, through your comments, let us understand that to what an extent we are being helpful to our dear students. So friends, when I talk about the thing that the syllabus of the two exams is not different. Obviously, yes, in mains there are many different topics. There is a proper paper on ethics, paper 4, right? But the things which are common like history, polity, economy, geography, sciences, environment, the things which are common, stop differentiating and start focusing more towards mains. If you focus only on pre, you cannot develop that bird eye view of the syllabus and the style of the questions that are being asked. So your focus should primarily be from the very start, it must be only and only on mains. Pre will fall in place naturally for you, right? So we know that there are two exams, prelim exam which is MCQ based test with negative marking 1/3, mains exam which is subjective in which we have 4 GS papers, and then there is an essay paper, 2 language paper, and then there is optional subject, 2 papers. We know these things, so I am not going to waste a lot of time for these things. Now look at this. If I look at the syllabus of UPSC itself, I have not played around with the words here, as it is taken from the UPSC syllabus site, site from where we get the syllabus, right? When we talk about pre, they have just mentioned history of India and Indian national movement. Now what all are the components of this Indian history? Are we sure, like, are we preparing all the topics properly? Are we able to understand that which topic is to be given how much of the importance? Now if I come to the other side, when I come to the side of the main syllabus, now here look at this, what they have written, Indian culture, they say Indian culture will cover the salient aspects of art forms, literature, architecture from ancient to modern times. Now they haven't specified it here, but don't you think even in pre they ask questions on art, literature, architecture? They do ask questions on Chola temple architecture, Chalukya temple architecture, right? They may ask us questions on Nagara style temple architecture or Vasera style temple architecture or Dravid style of temple architecture. Similarly, they talk about literature here, right? So if we understand these things and we cover them properly, your pre automatically falls in place for you. There is no problem, right? Now what we need to understand beyond this is like what all literature is important. Is it only the Buddhist and the Jaina literature or the Bhakti Sufi text, or it is something beyond that? There are some particular words, like many books will tell us there is Sufi literature, but some specific books, some good teachers can tell us that it is Malfuzat literature. Now when we come to know about this, and if by chance in mains they give us a target, they give us a challenge, they give us a question on the basis of Malfuzat literature, tell us the impact of Sufi movement on Indian society. So by just one word, Malfuzat, which we have not read in the ordinary books, which we have not understood in our ordinary classes, we find ourselves trapped. Now here is the need of someone who can guide you, who can mentor you, who can tell you to what level you have to go, right? To what extent you have to go, what all good books you can read, how you can make good notes. And for that purpose, at Raj IAS, our efforts, our endeavors are always for the betterment of our students, right? Look at this now. This is art and culture part. Fine. Then we talk about modern India. Here what they have written, Indian national movement, that is it. But when I come to mains syllabus, modern Indian history from about the middle of the 18th century, 1750 onwards, right? This is the time when the British East India Company is becoming politically active in India. Battles of Plassey, battles of Buxar, Anglo-Mysore wars, Anglo-Maratha wars, right? This is the time until the present, right? That means they can ask questions on Indian history even after independence. And you would have seen in the past 10 years, at least 2 or 3 times they ask questions of modern India. But after independence, even in pre, one question then when China invaded India, right? So if we go only by this syllabus, we will never be able to understand that what extent is required for this journey called preparing for UPSC IAS examination. Then significant events, significant personalities and issues. Now we have to cover personalities. Questions on personalities can be asked here. Which of the following is true about Rabindranath Tagore? Which of the following is true about Dayanand Saraswati? Right? So we have to understand it. Now here they have written Indian national movement. Look at this side. The freedom struggle, its various stages. Stages like pre-1857. One stage is 1857. It is itself it is just not an event. It is a very big process that happened, right? Then after 1857, birth of Congress, moderate era, extremist era, Gandhian era, revolutionary phases, separatism, right? These are the stages or events of modern India, and important contributions from different parts of the country. Now if we are reading things like that Gandhiji started Dandi movement, right? The salt satyagraha in 1930. They may ask us, who led the salt satyagraha in Tamil Nadu? Do we know? Who led the salt satyagraha in Kerala? Do we know? Who led the salt satyagraha in Madhya Pradesh? Do we know? But they may ask questions like this, right? Moreover, in the recent times, because of this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, so many local leaders, so many different personalities have come into the limelight. Now so things will be little more difficult if we are not keeping proper track of the things, if there is nobody to guide us, to hold our hand, right? Then we have post-independence consolidation and reorganization within the country. Then there is world history as well, which is not there in pre. But don't you think while reading your world history, you will come across the topics like socialism, Marxism and Leninism. And in pre, haven't you seen questions like how Gandhism and Marxist idea of classless, stateless society are different? They have asked questions like this now. From where will you get this information? So friends, the humble message for you guys here today is to focus on the syllabus of mains. Rather, you have still to take one step beyond this. You have to further understand the intricacies. Like if we are talking about literature, as I just gave you an idea, to what extent you have to study the literature. Is it the Vedic literature or the Buddhist Jaina literature or the Bhakti Sufi literature? That means the religious literature, or we have to talk about the secular literature too. They may ask question on Chanakya and his Arthashastra. They may ask questions on Akbarnama, Aine Akbari. They may ask questions on any such books, right? They may ask question on Niti Sara. They may ask questions on books like even Kama Sutra, right? Vasyan's Kama Sutra. They may ask questions on it. Now you have to understand that by looking at the syllabus only and only of pre, there is no use. Pre will never take care of your mains. What will take care of your pre? Your mains. Be prepared for the mains. Pre will take place itself. And for this you have to make a very strategically designed planning. You have to have a time plan for it, that this is the time when I will start, this is the time when I will finish the syllabus of mains, this is the time when I will sit for test, so that I can evaluate that whether I am 100% prepared for the mains or not. And once it is all done, I should have at least 5 months, 4 months left with me. Now I should focus only on the objectivity of the things and sit for my pre. Syllabus has already been covered. 4 or 5 months before the pre are the time when you revise the things, currently update the things and take your MCQ test for your evaluation. If somebody is trying to complete the syllabus in these 4-5 months, then I'm afraid he or she is running a race in which they are nowhere a contestant even. Fine. So we have to understand the syllabus and we have to focus on the mains. Similarly, now let us look at this geography thing, right? What in pre they have said? Indian and world geography, physical, social, economic geography of India and the world. That is it. Now what are the ingredients? What are the topics that we need to cover? Salient features of world physical geography, right? Salient features of world's physical geography. Even here they have not properly explained the syllabus. Now you have to understand all the ingredients here. Distribution of key natural resources across the world including South Asia and Indian subcontinent. Factors responsible for location of primary, secondary and tertiary sector industries in various parts of the world including India. Now here are the questions of your pre. Why these industries are located at this point or at this point in India, or why there are the industries on these fringes of the world, right? So from mains your pre is automatically prepared, as I am trying to emphasize time and again in today's lecture, so that you must focus first on mains and then on pre. Now when I look at this pre syllabus for polity, now what have they written? Indian polity and governance, constitution, political system, panchayati raj, public policy, rights issue, that is it. Now when I come to this side, look at the syllabus. Now that gives me an idea that what all subjects I have to prepare. Here they have talked about parliament and state legislature, structure, functioning, conduct of business, powers, privileges, issues arising out of these, right? Now here is parliament, structure, functioning. While doing the functioning of parliament, I will read about the committee system, right? I will read about PAC and COPU and whatnot, BAC, Business Advisory Committee. And then in the pre they may end up asking a question, which of the following committees is called the watchdog of public finances, right? So it is only out of mains that you understand that what can be asked in pre. By doing only the things in pre, you may never understand that what is the core syllabus and to what an extent they can even ask questions in my pre-exam. So once again I will try to make you understand that emphasizing on mains from the very start is very important. Then after that, what is more important, to understand that even how far this syllabus can stretch and how far you have to, dig deep and get the related information at one place. Now you cannot keep multiple sources to revise. You have to narrow the sources from which you have to finally revise before your pre and your mains. If you go like this, that means when there is no end to your sources, you may get lost. You have to first understand a very simple fact. The journey will always start to open up wide, but at one point you will draw a line of demarcation, whereafter you will start to narrow down the sources. Now how we narrow down the sources? By making our own notes. From various sources we make our own notes, and after revising these notes, we are prepared for such a competitive exam. Now look at this. This is your economy. If I look at the syllabus in my pre-exam, what have they mentioned here? Economic and social development, sustainable development, poverty inclusion, demographics, social sector initiative. That is it. Questions in pre come from this side, right? They may ask questions on cropping pattern in India. They may ask questions on, topics like food processing, land reforms, effects of liberalization, infrastructure, energy, ports, roads, airports, railways, investment models. All these topics are covered in your pre-exam. So today's lesson for all my dear YouTube followers, students and aspirants is a very simple message. Please, please, please try understand that the first need of this journey, which you call preparing for UPSC, is to decode the syllabus, to know to what an extent which topic can be and should be read. After understanding the extent, to prepare a holistic note of it, right? After making the holistic note, the second stage comes where you have to integrate the syllabus. For example, you will read the topic like industry in economy as well as in geography. Agriculture is part of both. Your geography and economy. Agriculture is also part of polity, where they pass the farm laws. Agriculture has a dimension in your ethics of agriculture, using pesticides, insecticides, chemical pesticides, is it ethical or not? There can be a question. It can be a topic in your paper 1 history, right? How agriculture evolved immediately after independence, the land reforms after independence. So every topic has dimensions. You have to understand those dimensions, integrate it. They may ask a question on agriculture in paper 1 history or geography, even in society. They may ask question in polity or governance, or even in international relations. They may ask question in paper 3 on economy or science and tech to improve agriculture, even on disaster management, right? Disaster management in the sense food security, that's a very important thing. They may ask questions for ethics, and they may ask you to write an essay as well. Now once you understand the dimensions, all these dimensions, when you understand a topic 360 degree, only then you stand taller than others, only then you get selected. So those who understand that there is a need for someone to hold your hand to tell you all these intricacies, feel free to get in touch with our team. The numbers are displayed here. You can get in touch with the team, and otherwise, even if you want one-on-one counseling with me, I am Raj Malhotra, and I am available 24/7 to help the students, and counseling is totally free. There are no charges, right? You can walk in by taking an appointment on these numbers. Meet me personally, let me guide you. If you are not staying somewhere near where from you can come easily, take time. I can meet you personally through Zoom meeting, through WhatsApp video call. I am available for you to help you understand how you can start the journey, how can you script your own success story. I am here for you, and I don't charge any money, not even a single penny for this counseling. Feel free, take your first step, get yourself counseled. We will give you an authentic idea that where you are standing, how far you have to go, what all are your hurdles, and how you can clear them. With all these words, I seek your support. Do share this video, do subscribe to the channel, and do let me know, could I help you in some extent or not, by writing a comment under this video. God bless you all. Thank you.